Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. J.K. Rowling has spoken out again on an issue very close to her heart. It's the fact that our crisis centres, should be female only. It's an issue she feels very strongly about. I think it's an issue everyone who is decent can get behind. Anyone who is right-minded can get behind. The only people who are against this are mentally ill men who want us to join in their lies, or the extreme left Marxists of people like the Green Party and the SNP, who want to destroy what being a woman even is. The degenerates, the perverts, the ones who want to have access to vulnerable women and children, the sort of people that we need to have on registers, basically. But we're going to have a look at what she's been saying. It's quite right. I mean, we'll go through it and you'll agree, I think, that what she's saying is right. And I think you'll be astounded at some of the things that you will see in this report. But I'm just going to pin my colours to the mast and say I completely agree with everything you're about to hear from J.K. Rowling and others within that group. Here goes. So J.K. Rowling backs calls for female-only R support in Scotland, as the report highlights the bullying of feminists, mainly, of course, by men, let's be honest. Or very mad, degenerate women, you know, the likes of Maggot Chapman, things like that. The Harry Potter author has said single-sex spaces can be life-saving for many women after campaigners at Sex Matters raised the issue. You're a woman who's just undergone that kind of thing, and you have to bear with the language. YouTube doesn't like certain terms, so you understand why I've got to be talking around the issue. But if a woman who's been subjected to that and who is suffering not only any kind of physical attack that's happened and recovering there, but the mental trauma, the emotional trauma, the anxiety, the stress, it's all there. It's all part of it. The last thing she wants when she goes to a crisis centre and talking with other women is for some bloke to turn up and go, right, love, as though he's a woman. Yeah, I'm a woman now. With his big manly hands and his big Adam apple. And it's wrong. It's got to be sex-based, not imagination-based, not pretendy-based. Because these men are men. They will always be men, no matter what they put on, no matter what frocks they wear, no matter if they call themselves Susan. They're pretendy Wendy's. They're men. And the last thing a woman who's just undergone that wants is a man in the room. J.K. Rowling has thrown her weight behind a campaign group's call to protect single-sex support for women who've been the victims of R, sexual assault, or DV. The Harry Potter author said female-only spaces can be life-saving for many women after a new poll showed policymakers were out of touch with the Scottish public on the issue. Well, we know that they're out of touch. 99% of people in Scotland don't want men pretending to be women to access women's safe spaces. 99.9% of them would protect their women and girl children from men wanting to go in and expose themselves to women, pretending to be women, and expect everyone else to go along with it as he gets his big lady cock out in front of 9-year-old girls. Only get it out once with mine. A report has been compiled by Sex Matters which suggests 86% of people believe women should have access to female-only services. But the campaign has also claimed that those who advocate female-only services are routinely subjected to investigations, ostracisation, and bullying and employment loss. So you stand there and you say women need to have women-only spaces, and you are subjected to bullying, to losing your job, to all sorts of things, employment loss and all that. All these things, you are the bad guy for wanting to protect women and children from mentally ill men who are 10 times more likely to commit a sexual offence. We have got the world the wrong way round, and we need to start changing this. And what we need to do is find any company that fires someone for this, and we go and we pick it and we make it clear that this company needs to be closed. We do that. We stand outside, banners, placards. Anyone coming there, we say to them, this is what this company does. This company wants to endanger women. This company has no regard for women. This company is filled with degenerate lowlives, child abusers, because that's what they are. If you're allowing a man into a safe space for young girls, that's child abuse. That's what these people are. And you make the companies realise that the masses are right. We are many, they are few. We will win. All we have to do is stand up and be counted. We are the giant. We need to stop sleeping. Whew. The report titled Women's Services, a sector silenced because they want to keep women quiet, because how dare you as a woman stand up and make your claims as a woman saying you want to be protected from men, and that includes men who pretend to be women, is based on interviews with 19 leaders in the sector from Scotland and the wider UK. Interviewees claimed service users are being put at risk of being attacked by males in female spaces. It also concludes they experience fear, loss of trust and re-traumatisation, with many reluctant to return. Children, refugees and asylum seekers, religious women and trans-identifying women face particular vulnerabilities, authors of the paper claim. And by that they mean women who like to dress as men. Again, mental illness, but strangely, very much rarer, and also less likely, strangely, to commit sex crimes. Edinburgh Art Crisis Centre was highlighted by some of the interviews. We've done the video on this in the past, and if this doesn't grind your gears, nothing will. The service is run by a man called Mudal Wadwa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He identifies as a woman, but he is a man. He previously sparked outrage when he said bigoted are victims who did not want support from biological men should be challenged and re-educated. A man is telling a woman who has been hard by a man that a man should be able to comfort her and support her. And that if they don't allow men to do this, they are the bigots. They are victim blaming. They are re-traumatising the victims. And they're saying that the victims are at fault for being hard by men. But then again, with a name like Mudal Wadwa, that kind of sums it up. Because we know that people from that kind of background have a very low view of women. It's a third world view of women. So it doesn't surprise me. But the fact that he pretends to be a woman also doesn't surprise me. Look at me, I'm wearing a frock. Call me Susan. Reacting to the study, Edinburgh-based Rowling said female-only support services can be life-saving for women who've suffered DV and SV. This report exposes the current silencing of sector leaders and the dire consequence for victims. And unless you stand up, these men and their useful idiot supporters, these degenerate perverts, predators and pedos, will be still pushing this envelope. And they're making you guilty of standing up for your rights. They want to remove you as an entire class of human being. There's women, but women means women and men who pretend to be women. And men who pretend to be women, everyone's got to join in their delusional fantasy, or you're guilty. And they want access to women and safe spaces for women so they can expose themselves and so they can get close to the vulnerable. The report calls on the Scottish Government to reform data collection and reporting across the criminal justice system to be accurate about sex. It also calls on organisations to leave the controversial Stonewall champion scheme. It also, which is basically a criminal organisation, saying if you don't give us 100,000 and put that plaque on our wall, we'll tell people how bad you are. Well, I've got two words for you, Stonewall. Off being the second one. I will never pay a penny to you bunch of perverts, predators and pedos. Stonewall got so bad, they don't even want gay people in it anymore. It's purely trans. Gay people, this is a strange thing, gay people are now problematic to Stonewall. Stonewall don't like gay people because the likes of a lesbian, say, only wants to be with a woman. Oh, hang on, I'm a man in a frock. Why doesn't that lesbian want to have sex with me? Because she doesn't like men, even when they're wearing frocks. I don't care. Sexuality is like haircut, isn't it? It's a bad choice, really, because we all know there is the lesbian haircut. And I'm not taking the piss. Well, I am a little bit. It is a thing. However, they're like haircuts. You do it to yourself. You do it because you like it. There's no one's forcing you down there. It's your choice. What do you find attractive? Attraction is fine. Nobody cares about attraction. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're lesbian, you're lesbian. If you're bi, play in the field, don't you? But the moment you get past the B part of LGB, you've gone from attraction into mental illness. And the LGB need to pull themselves away from the T, divorce themselves from the T and say, no, there is no LGBT anymore. There's LGB and then there's all the mental illnesses, and separate them. Because Stonewall doesn't like gay men, for example, because they only are attracted to men. They don't like lesbians because they're only attracted to women. They have this problem. And binary is a problem too, Stonewall, because binary indicates there's only two sexes. Oh, that doesn't go with the politics, does it? Stonewall needs to be disbanded. It's a tourist organisation. Anyway, Maya Forstater, God bless her, Executive Director of Sex Matters, says the turmoil and crisis within the... Now, just go back, just a little, tangent time about Maya Forstater. She lost her job because she stood up and did not bend the knee to the trans lobby and took the employers to court and won. Well done, Maya. Anyway, she said the turmoil and crisis within the women's sector that this report reveals comes back to the destruction of clarity in the law that was meant to protect women in the UK, including Scotland. She said this has happened because the idea that people are whatever sex they say they are, which has created a hostile environment for organisations in the women's sector that serve women who've been the victims of male physicality. She said the lack of clarity about the categories of women and men in law, which recent Scottish court cases have failed to resolve, has directly enabled the abuse of women and undermines women's services and their safety. And this is the absolute thing. It's a danger to women. And it's easily solved. If you get a man, if women are in a sporting event and a man turns up, every woman there needs to just stop, walk away, and let him stand there on his own. Easily done. It's working in swimming. Riley Gaines is going to go on. She's going to do ever so well. She's won on those swimming things. She stopped swimming now. She's pushing on. She's going into politics. Riley Gaines, bloody hell, hero there. Leah Thomas, the man, no one wants to swim with him. Now he's going, no, nobody wants to swim with me. Nobody wants to because I'm a man trying to pretend that I'm a woman and beating everybody in women's swimming. And nobody wants to touch him. Then you've got the cyclist guy that we covered some time ago. Nobody wants to race with him. And he's crying now. Oh, look at me. Woe is me. I put on a frock and a bit of lippy and no one wants to race me with my huge balls and tiny cock. Anyway, I'm going to round off and come up and we'll finish this video. But I'm completely 100% with J.K. Rowling. Women need safe spaces where men don't go. And I'm saying this as a man. But I'm saying this as a man who's got a mother, who's got sisters, who's got a wife, who's got nieces, who's got lots of women friends. They need protecting from these perverts, predators and peds. Coming up. This is a fight that must be fought until it is finally, totally and exclusively won. There must be a division in law between gender and sex, and people must be allowed to create groups and areas that are limited to single sexes, not genders. Now, if somebody wants to put on a dress and wander around the high street, I don't care. But when that person wants to go into a changing room with my 9-year-old niece and expose himself, I do care. And that's the difference. And it needs to be fought. It is an absolute clear danger. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Do please hit the like button. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.